Since we're talking about Kingsman the Golden Circle, I can only say 3 words. Manners maketh man. What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another review. Yes, that's right. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of the most anticipated sequels this year. You know what it is. Kingsman the Golden Circle. Directed once again by Matthew Vaughn and starring a huge cast of A-list actors and actresses. You guys know who they are. I'm not going to waste your time saying all of them. Kingsman the Golden Circle is the sequel to one of my favorite spy movies of all time, Kingsman the Secret Service. And in this film, the Kingsmen are back once again. You have Eggsy, played again by Taron Egerton. Colin Firth is back as Harry. Mark Strachan is back as Merlin. The whole gang is back in the Golden Circle. After unfortunate circumstances, the Kingsmen end up with the Statesmen, their cousins. They team up because of some drug scandal, this case going on between the Golden Circle, as they're called, and they're led by the mischievous Julianne Moore as Poppy. This group are creating drugs that are causing viruses and about to weep out millions of people if they're about to die. So the Kingsmen and the Statesmen have to face off against the Golden Circle and take down the lady Julianne Moore. Now, I was really looking forward to this movie just because of one thing. I absolutely love Kingsman the Secret Service. That was one of my favorite movies of that year, and it's one of the most surprising spy action movies I've ever seen. I totally did not expect that movie to be good at all, and Matthew Vaughn absolutely crushed it with that first movie. And going into the Golden Circle, I loved all the trailers for this movie, the marketing, the cast of A-list actors and actresses that they had for this film really had all the hype and the anticipation to make it just as good as the first film. So the question is Kingsman the Golden Circle better or just as good as Kingsman the Secret Service? The answer to that is no. But I had a complete blast watching The Golden Circle. This movie's not perfect. It kind of let me down in some aspects, but I can honestly say this is one of the most fun experiences I've had at the movie theaters this year. Without further ado, let's get into the positives first. The performances in this movie are absolutely fantastic. Starting with Taron Egerton as Eggsy, he's even better in this movie than he was in the first. He had a lot more character development, his action sequences were even better in the film, and he really did have some great emotional scenes. He has excellent chemistry with Colin Firth and the other actors and actresses. He really was the best part of the film. Colin Firth back, which was kind of my little gripes with the marketing, because like, oh, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the first film, he dies in the first film, but he comes back for this film, and Colin Firth is just excellent. Mark Strachan gets even more to do in this film, and it's just completely awesome. I also love the introduction to the Statesmen. You have Channing Tatum, he was awesome. Jeff Bridges, Halle Berry, Pedro Pascal, really good characters in the film. Julianne Moore, I thought she was great as the villain in this film. Even better, I think, than Sam Jackson in the Secret Service. Just because she's kind of that quirky, like out of left field. Everybody who watches this film thinks that, oh, she's in a completely different film. What's going on here? But I actually really like Julianne Moore. She stole a lot of scenes in this film. The action sequences here are extremely fun. Even though a part of them are in my negatives, I can say the action sequences are just as fun as the first film, and I just had a complete blast watching them, and I didn't hate watching them at times. Every sequel needs to expand on a new world, and I really like what Matthew Vaughn did, expanding the Kingsman world, showing us who the Statesmen are in aspects. Also, Poppy's Land, which is this place where Julianne Moore and the Golden Circle are. They're in the middle of nowhere. Just expanding this world, and that's what I like to see in sequels. Matthew Vaughn, he did a good job directing the sequel, and I'm glad that he did, because he definitely had some big action set pieces, and he told some new things that I wanted to see in a sequel like this. So, props to Matthew Vaughn. But I have to be honest, guys, I was a little let down by this film. It's not even as good as the first film, but it is a fun movie, but it's very flawed. So let's get into the negatives. My first biggest flaw is the CGI in the action sequences. Honestly, the CGI and the editing and the action in this film looks so fake. For example, the opening action sequence, it's a car chase where you see Eggsy facing off against these bad guys from the Golden Circle. It just looks so computerized, computer-generated images, and it's that frame rate, that editing style that I can't stand in movies today. It's completely CGI, and it's just a huge gripe in this film that they took it that route. Really let me down. The runtime in this movie, it's 2 hours and 21 minutes. I think that's too long for this film. They should have trimmed down 15 or 20 minutes, taken out some unnecessary scenes, which I don't want to say spoilers, but seriously, so many things in this movie did not have to be in it. That's why it's so long. Also, the pacing does drag a lot in the second act, and that really did make it this long. These slow scenes just really bother me in films, like some dialogue scenes that didn't need to happen. And if they just picked the pacing back up with the action, it would have been an overall better experience for me. This film really let me down just because the first movie was so fantastic. And in this film, it just was a huge step down just because they had to make it bigger. More action, bigger characters, bigger worlds, and bigger editing style. It just didn't work at all, and it really is lagging. In the end, guys, Kingsman: The Golden Circle is not a bad movie at all. I did have a blast with it. The performances are great. The action's entertaining. Just the things that disappointed me, just the CGI, the storytelling compared to the first film. And it's just really not that memorable like some scenes in the first movie. Definitely see this film if you love the first movie, but just, you're going to be disappointed by a lot of aspects. On my rating scale, I'm going to give Kingsman: The Golden Circle a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alright guys, that was my review for Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Stay tuned to my spoiler-filled discussion that I'm going to be doing with Jeff Millicky from Jeffito's Movie Blog over on his channel. If you want to hear our spoiler thoughts on it, go check it out on his channel. Thank you guys as always for watching this review, and if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe today for more content. All my social media links are in the description down below, as well as my Patreon page and my Letterboxd link, so you can check out all my different rankings of certain movie genres, and be sure to click that notification bell on your way out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!